in order to have that confidence, you have to draw from somewhere. If you don't have self-love, where are you going to draw that belief from? Where are you going to draw that extra energy, that extra push to be like, oh shit, I can do this because I love myself, because I'm great, because I value myself, because I'm a dope ass poet. Obviously I'm going to kill this stage.
I-E-O, come on. Girl like, girl like, girl like, girl like, girl. That's why they couldn't take us anywhere. You forgot. Girl like Becksy Becs. Thanks for coming, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm gonna explain how I met. I didn't even meet. I just saw you. Poetry, spoken word, evening, Shoreditch.
Nice.
With my friends. I don't even do it on the norm. It's all these things that were like, let's start to educate ourselves. Like, not everyday clubbing.
It's not every day.
Not every day you begin to the bar. You would educate yourself from the inside.
It's not tequila, it's red wine.
It's a classy stuff. You know, I'm like 2019, we got to change it up. So we went, and there was like just different spoken word people coming up, and then they introduced you like headliner. Obviously this is not even our turf, like we don't. So we're just like, oh, alright, she's gonna do like 3, 4, alright, jam. And then he started speaking. I was there, like I was just so shook. You know, like sometimes you're just there like, is this for me?
I'm shook.
Does she? I'm shook.
Why are you in my brain?
Like, this is. I was like, it was amazing. It was just like so articulate, and it was just so powerful, and I was like, yeah.
But that was like one of my first headliners.
Yeah.
In London.
Wow.
Like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, like you.
Wait, this is
no
official? Like I was just playing, y'all. I was just joking.
So y'all think this is not a hobby? It's not just a jokes talk. It's not a sideline.
We're not just doing it for.
That's a hobby. Wow, no, and that like you wouldn't have known that was like the first time. You were just like sometimes some people are just meant to be there, so it just felt so effortless. So where are you originally from?
I am from the place they call South Sudan now. That used to be formerly known as Sudan, formerly known as Kush, formerly known as Egypt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
South Sudan.
Alright. But obviously you were born and bred.
Well, I was born in South Sudan. My family then moved here when I was 4 years old. I'm about 4 years old, but I'm the youngest of 5.
Oh wow!
So like everybody was grown.
Yeah,
Everybody
was fully fledged.
Yeah, and my dad was studying here at the time that we moved, and then cause like when we actually moved to the UK, it was when the original Civil War was when the Civil War was starting out.
Oh wow!
Like 86.
Wow!
85,
Yeah.
So my name is actually reflected in that. My name means born at troubled times.
Wow.
So literally as soon as I was born, like everyone was living their best lives. They were enjoying it. They had so much fun. And then I was born and they were like, oh shit, let's go. Let's back it up. Take you to I was like, so you couldn't leave me there for like at least primary school or
just a few more years. Like
so you couldn't give me
just add it. Just add it in
12.
there.
At least 12.
There. So like, what is your full name?
Nyapinyeta Rebecca Kunijo Gwada Ayoke Kwawan.
Wow. Wow. Like syllables. Say it again. Slowly.
So, my first name is Nyapinyeta, which means the ground is shaking.
Okay.
And then I got my Christian name Rebecca because obviously you moved to the UK.
Yeah. You're
here?
Sorry, what was that?
No.
Can I call you Yaya? But is that what we said?
I'm gonna call you Beth. I'm like this.
Sis, someone has called me Sarah before. I'm like, how does Taliwa equate to Sarah?
Wow.
They were like, honestly, this we need a whole new show just for names.
Your name is Oluwatolu?
Oh, they're like,
oh, they call you Jade. Jade. Okay.
Is that okay? Is that alright? Alright, Jade, you're right, babes. It's like, well, we just.
I like that.
What did you say? Right, okay.
Yeah.
And then.
So, Nyapinyeta Rebecca Kunijwa Guado Ayeko.
Today we're talking about building self-confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, such a topic. So we're gonna have some tea. We're gonna have some sweet juice.
That's why I'm here.
Joking. Don't play with me, girl. Like, I was saying to my friend the other day, like, it's summer, I'm gonna have to change this to like wine we told or something because sis, we about to start drinking some rosé on the balcony. Like because it's a hot summer's day. But at least today is not too bad. So we want some tea to speak about this beautiful topic that is so vague and large and trying to break it down and see what we can edit from it. But yeah, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go, girl.
Wait.
Oh.
I just need to tell you guys this. So, like, Bex had one question, just like, what's he do you want? Yeah, 'cause, like, we got tea, y'all. You got us selection of tea.
Gonna bring me out. Okay.
No, but can y'all see? Like, there's 3 different tea bags in that teapot. Like, I didn't even know it was a thing. I'm like,
variety is the key to life.
Variety is the key. So we have chamomile in there. We got chamomile and vanilla.
It smells gorgeous though.
It does. I'm like, so this is a new thing. I feel like we've just created a new product on this show, and it is.
I want royalties.
Like
my fees are
African girl. Like
my fees are 40%.
No, but so where's my cut though? Because so I really want to know how this tastes because she's added. There's 3 different. We have ginger in it. Oh, what are we feeling? Is it good?
Ooh.
Is it good to start our own product?
It's like smooth but punchy.
Ooh. Okay.
I like it.
A bit of smooth, a bit of punchy. All right. So
the ginger just kicks it.
Yeah, it's the ginger adds that. There you go. Guys, we just created a new product. There we go.
You can buy it at www.teawitholu.com.
Well, cheers, darling.
Cheers, man.
Ching ching. It's really hot. Cheers, so I not drink it. In the Africans. Just zip it. So, self-confidence obviously is a massive topic. Where should we start from? Like, should we, because I always have an agenda, like when I meet my friends, like I haven't seen them in ages, I'm like, girl, we need an agenda. Like, I don't want us to just like, just be talking, just open your mouth, bam. No, we're gonna write it down. First of all, we start with voice.
Step 1.
Second, we start with work. Then we do do other. So we can finish, like, we understand what's going on.
Yeah.
So like self-confidence, should we start as, with the self? So obviously the theme of series 2 is about self-value and self-love. So let's talk about building self-confidence with the self. Like, why did this topic in itself like speak to you? Like, what about confidence?
Honestly, because I feel like when it comes to confidence, it's a whole process for it.
Yeah.
Like it's such a long journey, and I feel like if I had confidence at an earlier stage in my poetry, then I would have started writing a lot more earlier. I would have started performing a lot more earlier. I would be a lot more further within that poetry world and that scene.
Yeah.
If only I had the confidence to start it. Like it's,
yeah.
You know, do you know how many grants and how many like poetry slams like have age limits? Yeah. I'm not gonna say what the age limits are because I'm still a baby girl.
I thought she was 18.
I'm 18, like 10 years experience.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear that.
Yeah, but like it becomes so limiting because it's always like, oh, young people's voice. But if you don't find your voice when you're young, you start to struggle at a later age. So that's when the whole confidence starts in. Yeah. That's how you find your voice in the first place.
Okay.
For me, I feel like there's 2 stages of confidence. There's actually building your own self-confidence, and then there's demonstrating confidence to others.
Yeah.
And I was very good at demonstrating confidence to others. I would be like, because like my dad was like, he's like mad political. So like he's got like the whole hand gestures, shake with a firm handshake, and project yourself, stand tall, la. So you project this self-confidence. I was good at that.
Yeah.
Any job interview, I would go in and be like, yes, hi, nice to meet you, body language, blah blah blah. And it was easy to emulate all of that stuff. But then when you step back from the actual situation and you're talking about building self-confidence within yourself and the tools that you use for that, completely different. absolutely lacking, failing.
No, that is
zero.
so true. Some days you feel confident.
Mm-hmm.
Some days you don't.
No,
Like,
you don't.
and then some days you have moments. So like, you know, there's this thing, especially with like black women, it's almost like they expect so much of us. Like, you know, you like, we're this perfect superwoman.
Yes.
So you gotta be confident. And when you see like a confident black person, it's like, I just love your aura. No, thanks. Like, this is real. Like, thank you. Like, you're so confident. You're so powerful. And then you show a sign of weakness or vulnerability because you're human. It's kind of like, but why?
Yeah.
Well, what happened? You're meant to be confident. And it's like, no, but I have my days. I have like vulnerable moments. Like, do you see that as well? Like, do you get that, especially with like spoken word and, you know, just being there? People are like,
100%.
yeah, girl. And then if you show any sign of just being human, people are like, oh, but you should have.
Are you okay, Rob?
Yeah. Are you okay?
Like, I have this particular poem. Like, I think it was... Okay, so, like, if my poem were children... I know you're not supposed to have favourites, but this would be, like, my favourite child.
Yeah,
You know that one that made it to uni? He was my firstborn. He's in university.
No one ever thought.
Why can't you be more like your cousin? That's my dog. That's my poetry child.
Yeah.
And it's about skin bleaching, and it's called The B Word. And it's, like... Every time I perform it, because like it's so vulnerable, it's talking about skin bleaching and changing your image and self-doubt and how I don't want to be this person, like, oh, you look at me this way, look at me differently. Every time I perform it, people project that onto me as a person.
Right.
So like they feel this need to come out to be like, you know, you're beautiful. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm just telling you a story.
Genuinely, that was just...
So like when you show that little form of weakness, they then project onto you, which is so weird. It's so strange. You get confidence from when you get praise from others,
right?
So like when you do something, and then other people praise you for it, like that builds your confidence. Like, okay, that person thought it was good. I'm going to continue to build on that and do it that way.
From external.
Yeah. But then you don't know what that person is going through. You don't know what they're projecting on you, why they thought it was good.
Yeah.
It could be negative. It could not be.
Sorry, that was good. Yeah.
So like there's you build confidence from praise from others. Previous success, which I feel like it's negative, because if you rely on that for your confidence, you're then relying on outside sources to tell you that you're good. So the moment somebody tells you that you were terrible or you're bad or they didn't really enjoy it from their perspective, you really take that in. And that's the dangers with social media as well. Like if your confidence is based upon your likes, when they start disappearing, so does your self-confidence. So it's like, do you actually have genuine confidence at that point? Yeah. So the other ways to build self-confidence, I suppose, is practice and preparation and being confident within what you're delivering. I have pieces, I'll write them and I'll be like, bitch, are you okay? Like, and you think like it's really trash, but then you go over it and you practice it and you prepare it and you believe in that piece yourself before you've even like performed it for other people. You have to practice and prepare yourself and your own self-belief within that piece before you release it into the world and accept their advice.
That makes total sense. So do you, like, how would you say you can navigate like people's opinion as such of you? Obviously, like, so you know, someone could be like, oh, you're really great, or you're not so great, or you know, people's opinion. How do you navigate that against your own beliefs? Because sometimes like it is to make you better, I suppose. If say someone's like, oh, I don't like something about you, or you know, or the way you act in class or whatever. You know, there's also that other side of confidence of that people that are like, oh, that's negative energy, I don't need that. Like, haters. I don't need that kind of negative energy in my life.
It's like, but you need to pay your bills. I said, no, I don't need that kind of negative energy in my life.
You're a naysayer. You keep saying bills. I don't need that sort of energy. So it's like, how do you also like, I don't know if you know, but like, how would you navigate that with seeing your own self, but also trying to reflect the way others see you?
In a short answer, I don't.
Okay.
Like, I don't factor it in at all. Like, when it comes, like, my friends hate me because, like, I never ask people for advice. Not in a bad way, not because I don't value your opinion or your input, but people, you can't take anything personally. What someone is telling you will always be from their perspective. We live in our own universes. We live in our own little world, whether you like it or not. Even as well-meaning as that person is supposed to be, they still have their own projections that they're influencing on you from their perspective. So you have to be careful when it's people telling you or giving you advice. I just be like, I take what suits me and not the whole point.
Do you vibe with this word that is self-value, self-love? Does that make any sense to you?
Oh, 100%. It resonates like a lot. Like it took me a while to discover how self-love is.
Right.
To discover what self-love is. Because like you're always taught, like if someone loves you, they're doing stuff for you. So self-love is like an external thing. Right. So like if your parents love you, they'll give you a house, they'll look after, they'll cook for you, they'll feed you at least. Yeah. Even if they don't love you, at least feed me. Yeah. So like the relationship that you have with love is like it's something external. Like it's something that people do for you when you're a child, because your parents, you will never see them struggle. Like you don't get a point to show love from a child perspective. You don't get to be the one that consoles them. Yeah. So like from childhood to like, I think it was probably like uni years before I saw my mom struggle and start crying. I was like, oh shit, wait. Yeah. And then you have to learn
go through this.
Yeah. You have to learn to give love to others. And then when you've experienced it from an external point of view, you don't know how to create that self-love in order to give. Yeah.
No, that's so true. That's so true. And so do you feel so like self-value or self-love equates to building self-confidence? Like do you feel like you can have self-confidence without self-love? Or do you feel like they are both synonymous to one another?
They are absolutely synonymous with themselves. Because if you think about confidence itself, confidence is having the belief that you're able to do something and pull it off. Yeah. So in order to have that confidence, you have to draw from somewhere. If you don't have self-love, where are you going to draw that belief from? Yeah. Where are you going to draw that extra energy, that extra push to be like, oh shit, I can do this because I love myself, because I'm great, because I value myself, because I'm a dope ass poet. Obviously, I'm going to kill this stage. That's where you need to draw your confidence from. If I don't value myself or my work, how can I draw on that confidence without that self-value? Yeah. So you can't have any without the other. Like they all work in tangent. Yeah.
And so what do you do when do you have days when you don't feel like
every day?
So what do you because that's just a reality for so many people, is that we only see the good days externally. We only see like when people look, because that's on social media or like a gig, obviously that person's put work and practice into it, but no one sees the back story. No one sees it when the curtains are closed, like what happens, your mentality, what goes through your head, battling with self-confidence and self-love. So like what sort of advice would you get? How do you personally work through that on a daily basis? Like what do you do? Just drink tea?
I falter with my self-confidence all the time. Like all the time. Like as I was saying earlier, it's easy for me to project confidence because it's kind of like an acting tool. But just before I'm about to go on stage, I always have an attack of self-confidence. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this piece, or maybe I should be doing it different, or maybe I shouldn't even be here. Maybe I should go home. Like, hello Uber, is that you?
Those doubts just start to creep in.
Yeah. So they will always creep in, but then it's because I believe a lot in energy, so it's just about turning that energy into positives. Wow. So like taking all of that. Is that a word? So I feel like that's a word.
Knowing that,
just taking all of that, just
take it. take it.
And then just like switching your focus into something.
Yeah.
So that's when you go from that's when you start drawing on your self-confidence and your self-values, and you're like, no, obviously you've got this. Like, you're good. You did this before. You've done this before. You've done this plentiful times.
Yeah.
And then you have to just change that energy into the confidence that comes into projecting confidence. So, yeah.
And have you ever had a time where, and this is like into your particular experience with poetry, like where you felt like you didn't do very well on stage? Like you just came out and you're just like...
You're about to give me PTSD right now. You're about to give me PTSD right now.
Because that's definitely something that personally, I do a lot of public speaking. That's a huge thing for me.
Yeah.
Because I always feel like there's a time where, especially when you've done it for a while, people have an expectation of what you're going to deliver. And so it becomes almost like a new type of self-confidence, because there's a level where you know you can do it. And now there's a new expectation where it's like, oh, but this is now the high people are looking at me. And then you're like, but am I at this? Am I at this? Because I still feel like I'm here. Like, I got it. Like, I can do this. But this is kind of like, you know, sometimes you go on and you're just like, personally, oh my god, I didn't feel like that banged. Like, people always write anyway, so they're like, oh my god, that was so great. I don't know. So, you know, have you ever like had that you just felt like you didn't really?
Yeah, 100%.
How do you?
Like, there's been incidences where I've forgotten like whole stanzas. I've forgotten like multiple lines and just like kept going and no one noticed. And in myself, I'm like, wow, you really messed that up.
Yeah.
But there was this one time, this one and only. Hopefully the last. Let's not speak into existence. Touch wood. That will never happen ever again. But like I was so excited about this particular performance. Like so we're part of a collective called the Flow Poets. So like every first Thursday and third Thursday of the month they do a show called Flow Vortex at the Hideaway. So all of the Flow Poets have done like spoken music. Musical word. That's like the genre that they've created. www.flowvortex.com.
Come on, get that plug in there.
Sprinkle.
Fun.
So like they had like a launch night, and then I was the first person going on.
Yeah.
And I missed the sound check. So like I wasn't confident with the music and the piece together. So when I got on stage, I did my first piece. I was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's a cappella. I was like, hey,
it's moving.
You're banging. You are doing all the things.
I'm feeling it.
Yeah. And then the music came on, and I couldn't hear it, and I was like, oh, damn. So I just started talking, and then I lost myself because I couldn't hear the music. Because all of my cues are based on the music. So like when it goes, I know I'm supposed to be at this point.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be saying these words.
Yeah.
And bro, I just froze. I literally just froze. Like, and I let the track play. I was like, can we no? Okay. Like, this is nice. Hey guys, you alright? Yeah. Nice to meet you. Welcome to my home. Like,
I've been eating. You hungry? I can get you some rice.
I like, you good? You want a drink? I can come down. We got time.
Like, we got...
Okay. Yeah, and I was so disappointed in myself because I felt like I didn't properly prepare and believe in myself to do that piece, which is really annoying because I know the piece. Like, as soon as I got off the stage, I did it the next day and I was like, where was this girl?
Yeah.
Where were you?
So now you're just gonna show up.
You just show up.
You're just gonna show up.
You leave me on blue ticks. Yeah. I've been on blue ticks for 12 hours.
So you felt like the next day, did you come out of that situation, like when you performed it again, just because of what happened on stage and like the sound check not going? Did you just have a different mentality, or like
as soon as I got off the stage, I had that mentality. Wow. I was like, I do not ever want to be in that situation ever again. Yeah. And it's not going to happen. And I know I can deliver myself to a point where it should never happen again. Yeah. Like if it was someone other, if it was like an outside influence, that would have been beautiful.
Because it's that mentality. Because I feel like sometimes that could have gone. Yeah. And that's why like confidence is like a spectrum to me. Like, you know, you have like 100%. Your 5, you have like your 6, and you have that base level of confidence. Yeah. But you can get out from stage from a bad situation, you're just thinking, well, that's now defined me. Like, people are now just going to see like, this is who she is. Like, oh, it actually just didn't bang. Or you can be like,
that's the last time.
Yeah. Never again.
Like never. Like I'm telling you.
But like I feel like you can only build confidence from failures. Like it's kind of like dead bodies. You have to stack them up, make a foundation. You have to kill yourself over and over again until you get to stand on top of all of your points and just be like, that was me before, this is me now. Like
that is so true. Such a wisdom cube. I think like you always hear this, but I really do think like you can only compare yourself with yourself yesterday. That is the best, because 100%. Like, you know, you can have a spoken word poet who like sees your piece and it's just like, well, I could never do that. Like you know, this is, but they don't know your story and your experience, and this is what I keep saying. Like you don't know somebody's story, like, and that person, because you always have this when people use age, like, oh, because someone is young, that could work or destroy them, or you know, they don't have as much experience because they're young, they're not as good because or they're really good because they're young and creative. I'm like, you don't know anyone's story.
You really don't.
So you can't define people's experiences for them. Like they know their story and that's where they're at now. So you look at yourself and then you look at your yesterday and like, I need to be better than that. I think it's the same with like, again, just having that mentality that even when you fail, like that's actually, I always say to my brother, like, that's a testament in itself, because it's like, oh, something good about to come out here. You know, like we're about to learn something and not do it again. So I feel like that's
100%. I think like failure is just a reminder not to do it again. It's kind of like deja vus. You have a deja vu because you've been in this situation before. You should have done something different. It's just a reminder to do something different. That's all failure is.
So how do you deal with, you know, just building that self-confidence of, like, you know, of, as like with beauty, for example, like, is that, please tell my Becs.
I'm triggered, bro. I
need wisdom, because I'm just like, how? Like, sometimes I don't even know how to voice this.
You know what, it's crazy. Like, I was actually literally having this conversation with my flatmate just the other day. Because like I think she's like from Kent,
right?
And like we were talking about how when you go into like university and like your friends are mainly white, and you go out with your friends and you know you look cute, you're like, obviously, like, it makes no sense. I know I'm damn cute, but then you go out and then it's like you don't get the approaches. You don't get liked as much. She's black. She's Nigerian.
All right.
She's dope. Absolutely amazing girl.
Yeah.
But like when you're in that white space, your beauty is not appreciated, and then it kind of trickles into like, oh wait, hold on, is there something that I'm doing incorrect? Is there something that I could be doing better? Like, these are my friends. I feel like you pick your friends based on you. So like if they're all getting hooked up, like, why am I the only one that's left out consistently? So yeah, that plays a lot into it. The only way you can get over it is just block out all of that external.
Yeah.
No, like, 100%.
I think, honestly, this is why I keep saying it's a journey. Because like, you know, I went to, I was saying earlier, like, I went to Durham, mainly white university, but not mainly, it is a white university with some pockets of different other ethnicities and races. And you go out clubbing and I just used to feel like, sis, I came from school, because you know what I mean, you're still small and you're still in secondary school. I was like, girl, we were like, oh, it's prom, oh, who my date, what, we gonna prom, we gonna prom, we gonna prom, we gonna prom, we gonna, oh. Like, just came from a stage where it was like, it's not like life, that section of relationships, like, wasn't, I didn't really put so much effort, like, energy into it. And I came to uni and I was just like, but we're now in year 3. You mean to tell me that for the past 3 years, nobody has opened shine that
you must all be blind.
I wanna date you. I wanna take her out for a cup of coffee. Like, I was like, you mean to tell me? And that starts to play into your mind.
It really does.
And I remember, like, I wanted to cut my hair, like low cut, and I was just like, literally, I was like in front of the mirror just crying at how like ugly I am. Like, why doesn't anybody? Like, when I think about it now, I'm like, that's madness.
Yeah. It's like, where you at, girl?
Like,
who hurt you? Who hurt you? You
But like, and I remember, and I called my brother and I was just telling him that, and he was like, the kind of people that you wanted because you had a certain hairstyle are not the ones for you.
Exactly.
If someone is attracted to you because 100%. Of your particular hairstyle or because of your particular look or particular makeup or because you did contouring, like that's why they're with you. It's like you want to run away from that. And it's like if you're not getting people because of just who you are, then you should be celebrating that because you don't want pigs anyway. And it's like that's not the kind of guys you want to attract. And I think that changed my whole because it was just so stressful trying to change my hair.
It's a lot,
just
bro.
It's
like I'm trying to pay my rent. I can't be spending all this money. All this money on weave.
All this money. I don't have it. I don't have the money. People say, "Oh, am I gonna eat dinner? Am I gonna
slay today?
Am
I gonna slay? Am I gonna eat?"
And that really changed. But again, that was because. First of all, your community, your actual community around you, people who again representation matters. Looks like you, believes like-minded, just talking to them about it. But also leaving uni.
100%. And the wickedest thing is even if one of these guys approaches you, oh, you're not my type anyway. It's I don't really like you like that. I just needed
it's I just wanted a confirmation. Boy, I wasn't gonna go for coffee.
I just wanted conversation. Just talk to me, bro.
I just wanted a hi. Oh, cute. I think it's okay actually to not feel beautiful sometimes. I think it's okay because we're human, and it's okay for sometimes just look at yourself in the mirror and just have a day of whatever hour, and you're just bang today.
It's today.
I'm good today. But that is not a reflection that you're not a queen or king. It's not a reflection of now your identity is now created that you're this person. It's you have weak days and you have those moments, and that's okay. But I think you need to talk about it with somebody so it doesn't manifest into months of you feeling like this,
100%,
years of you feeling like
100%,
this,
100%.
And that's where that difference is. But I wish I knew that.
As a dark-skinned person, people automatically assume that you have self-confidence issues and that you want to change your skin, and then it becomes a point where when they're talking to you as if they're trying to convince you not to bleach. I'm but that wasn't even on the agenda. No, stay as you are, you're beautiful. They're always trying to convince you that you're beautiful instead of just accepting the fact that you are, if that makes sense. And then it's I was lucky in the sense that this was my school, this was where I went to school, this is where people didn't appreciate my beauty. But then as soon as I stepped behind my doors at home, I was literally back in South Sudan. I was in South Sudan living in UK. So I had 2011 cousins, 17 of them. They all look like me. They all look exactly like me, and they were all beautiful, and they were all amazing. But then as soon as I step out of that, they're like, "Oh my God, I've never seen anyone as dark skinned as you. Oh my God, you're so beautiful." I'm I'm not an anomaly. There are people that look just like me. Do you get me?
This is not missing. Wow, you guys still exist. It's so beautiful. It's
I can show you about another 15 of them, literally in my house. Right now, just chilling. So when it comes to that, I don't know how to approach people in the sense of letting them know that I'm good. I always feel I have to convince them that I am good. I am okay. I do not want to bleach. It's not everybody that has dark skin has confidence issues in their beauty. I know I'm beautiful because I came from beautiful people.
There was a practical advice of one thing you could tell anyone watching this of how they could build someone that is just struggling with their own confidence and just doesn't know where to go from here. Do you have any practical advice that you could just give them as to building self-confidence and the value in that as well?
I feel the first thing I would say to them is go and sit in a room, close your eyes and meditate for at least 1 minute. 1 minute, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 hours if you have to. Really sit with yourself and not even necessarily think about your self-confidence or throw out questions. Just really just sit and be present with yourself and just learn to enjoy yourself as in that moment. and then build from that. Like it really does stem from self-value. Once you understand what you like, revisit what's your favorite color. Like I used to say my least favorite color is pink, but I can still rock it. Do you get what I'm saying? So like revisit the things that you thought you like, or the things that you think you don't like. Write them down. What do I like today? What am I grateful for today? What am I really enjoying? Get to know yourself. Take yourself on a date, bro. I have never been to the cinema by myself until maybe last year. I was like, bitch, we're going out today.
Yeah.
We are going out today. I'm going to get you popcorn. You can have some nachos.
I did that. I went to get to Bohemian Rhapsody, and I was just
snap.
I'm finna take you out tonight.
You took yourself out.
Yeah, we went out. Like I was there, like, can I get some nachos? Because I was like, get some popcorn. Right, I'll just get a beer. Like,
have you seen that meme? It's like, oh, you fancy.
Like, you fancy, huh? Like, no, I took myself out. I was like, we're gonna treat you right.
It's important.
It's the same thing. I go to a restaurant by myself. I'm like, table for one, because I think I didn't realize this, because there is just so much power in spending time by yourself.
Yes, 100%.
And just loving spending time with yourself, because sometimes you don't even be like, girl, I don't know with this funny. Like, what? Just cracking jokes. No, but like there's a sort of power that comes from that to even just kickstart your day. I think just in that moment
changes your whole mindset.
I was saying this the other day, just like, because now I do it like every morning. Personally, I just sit and I just refocus my energy on the day, but just be so present with me, and then I can start like meditating. Then I start praying, and I'm just like, okay, what am I going to do today? And it changes how I feel of that day. And like, there's just a confidence that is so different. That now I step into a room, it's not just like any sort of like side ide moving around. I'm like, oh, this is a queen. Like, there's value of me being on this table, so I'm going to talk to you like this. So this is I see that self-meditation, just like that is so powerful.
Like my friends, God bless them, they're still my friends. But like when I went through the period of this whole change, because like healing is an ugly process. Wow. It is such an ugly process. Like all of these captions on Instagram, like, oh my God, I'm healing, I'm living my best life. No, that it's ugly, and it's a hard process, and it's isolating, and it breaks you down a lot. So like when I started going through that change, like I was cutting people off left, right, and center. I was just out here, Edward Scissorhands in this. Cut it. I was literally cutting people off, and like my friends, I would isolate. I would say because I feel bad. I would make plans. I'm like, I really want to come. I do genuinely want to come. But then my spirit had other plans. She was like, nope, not today, bitch. You gonna sit. You gonna stay right here. And you gonna work on this. You gonna work on this. So like, you have to have that moment of solitude. Like, you can only build in solitude, I believe, that self-confidence. Because if you have all of this external stuff, you can't take that on board. So you really need to like isolate yourself and be with yourself and sit with yourself.
That is,
and that's when you can manifest your best life.
No, that is so true. And it starts with you. I think everything just goes back, and that's why that's why it's called self-value, self-love. Well, I say this to a lot of young people I work with, that the problem with a lot of young people when they're attacked by the character is because they were not aware of their own weaknesses. So until you understand your weaknesses, a word. Yes. Until you start, like, we all have strengths, but we also have debt. So until you start to understand your debt, that's how you can start to build your soil, and then your plant starts to grow. Because like, some of young people are just here like, oh, I'm here, and people attack them, and they like, they just go into a spiral of like anxiety because someone attacked your character. But when you're aware, you're reflecting of who you are, and who you are comes with two sides, like strengths and weaknesses. Then you're like, oh, thanks for that, bro. Ain't gonna break me today.
You thought? Okay.
You thought?
Okay, good.
I don't want extra. Like, no, like, so it's like, and that's self-love. It's understanding your flaws and understanding your strengths and working on that and seeing. But again, I think that also just even comes from meditating.
Because it's all about duality, to be honest. Like, all of this good vibes only, I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense. You can't have good vibes without having bad days. Like, enjoy your bad days in as much as you do your good days. Do you know what I'm saying? Just celebrate it in a different way.
In a different way.
When you're in that state of depression, or like when I go through it in my anxiety attacks and whatever, I celebrate it a different way by saying, okay, this is happening because of this, and I build on the bad with the good. Exactly. And then you marry the two together and you come back to your one self.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Exactly. Because like, with life, you can never just have good vibes.
Never.
It's like, wake
that
up,
is not life.
wake up.
That
like,
is
it's going to
life.
shake you. Like,
yeah.
Not like there's no tomorrow. So I think definitely, like, that is a wisdom cues, man. Thank you so much for being here. Like,
thank
girl,
you for having me.
Thank you so much. Anyway, let's end with spoken. I met this guy, right? Sorry, I feel like I always need to be a bit more specific here. I met this very stupid guy, right? It was in the middle of a debate. He looks at me like, Becksy, you know, you're actually kind of pretty. See, his words to me were, your face is cute, it's just you're a little bit too slim thick. It's the thing now, babes. Have you ever thought to sign up to a gym? I finished laughing, and then I looked at him. And with the word wow waiting behind this plastic painted smile, I replied, wow, you're actually very rude. But see, then the word prick started to suppress behind these plastic painted lips, and with that inside, I replied, my guy, clearly you don't know this body, which makes sense because you guys have never physically met, but this body is already an elite member of the most exclusive gym known to man. This body has long been signed in and trained in the toughest policing academies for centuries. All those early morning marches charging through the strict muddy waters of your misogynoir are where these thighs were taught to grow thick, and bold as they are, the strength they can carry is misplaced but unmatched, and this waist stays snatched from every time a casual chauvinistic comment warrants me to sit up and pay attention. There's this constant tension in my lats from the number of times I pull up the slack. This heart lies on pillows as heavy as 100 kilos as I consistently push up male egos on a daily basis. This body is an oasis littered with the sweat pools that drip from the brows of a poorly raised society. Each muscle has been twisted and sprained in its entirety, just aching to gain some notoriety from your policing academies that have put this body through the toughest arraigning for a millennium. See, my circuit training, it is second to none. I have ridden empty tanks and I have wrestled with those ropes of womanhood. I have been skipped on more times than the sun has jumped the dawn, treaded on mills that extract my juices for their personal gains. This foul mouth has ran more bleep tests than it can ever contain. Time and time again, burpees brought me to my knees, running and jumping in fear, only to squat in the corners of my dishonesty that tell me that one day I can be everything that you want of me. But my guy, what more could you possibly want from me? I have exercised your rights into every cell of my biology, yet you have boxed with me and coached me into the blue corners of my ability, and yet somehow still I stand wide-eyed, tears cried, still smiles, just desperate to graduate from this policing institution, and I was so close. So it sucks that now I'm stuck in your gun assembly, where you learn to put me together piece by piece only to pick me apart again. It's ironic how I have been clothed in your shame, yet stripped of my right to bear arms, whilst you load up these magazine clips that sexualize and rifle through my body with no safety on. I have been trained to grow flowers in your shade just to ricochet those sly remarks and shots fired in friendly fire. This execution for open hire, and I'm just patiently lined up, mind pacing, just waiting for someone to call my name. This overqualified scholar, heart racing as this physical fitness goes deeper than my flesh. It's like history. It sucks that I have to repeat myself, but once again, I have already been through the toughest training in your policing academies for decades.
I am jack of all trades, master of the sun. I have long walked the tightrope of this controlled narrative. I am done. I am no longer in the market for your validation. I am tired of your whining, ringing in my ears like the dumbbells I dance with while sculpting this fine frame. I have lugged around the mediocrity that hangs in your kettleballs. This benchmark has been pressed too many times in the shadows. Trust and believe I am not the one that needs to be kept on their toes. More dead weight has been carried on this back than you will ever know. I am a pro, but do you even lift, bro?
Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please don't forget to share, subscribe and like, and also if you have any comments or feedback, do let me know because I'm always keen to hear. Thank you.
I think that we're kind of told that there's this destination in life that you'll have it all figured out when you get to this particular age, when you hit this particular milestone, whether it's having a great job, graduating, getting married, having children.
Right.
But those people, and now I know more and more people who have those things, they're still figuring it out themselves. So what I've tried to see it as is actually, it is a continuous process that has no destination.
Yeah.